Hi, it's foamboard.com, and here on YouTube know me as Epic Fantasy. And this is my latest tutorial. It's a foam board project, how to make a Daedric Two-handed Sword, or a Greatsword, the Daedric Greatsword. Fun project, and it's really big. It's about 4 feet in length. Here, I'll show you here. See? Gives you a sense of the size of it. Cool project. Not a whole lot of foam board. And I give you a template that you can download and print up and use that to get the shape right. I get these shapes all made out for you. There's a big piece, a smaller piece that rides on top, and another smaller piece that rides on the bottom. So it's a fun project. Shouldn't take you too long to make. Here's the templates. See, the big template and the smaller one that goes in the middle. Now I used a big 40-inch piece of foam board, these like this. You probably don't have one of those, but you can jury rig something up, cut the pieces and whatnot, assemble them together to make the sword this size. Dioramas, origami, catapults and trebuchets, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees and paper games, swords and shields and real blacksmithing, model rockets, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormyCastle.com. Let's make something. Alright, so how I made this sword was, I taped together a bunch of sheets of paper and then drew it out to the size that I wanted. There goes ditto. And that's just a tip if you want to make a sword. And then I cut it out. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get the packet to print out, if you want, and then cut out all the pieces and tape them together to make your big sword. And you'll see that like this. You end up with this. There's actually 3 pieces. Well, there's 2 pieces. You use one piece twice. This is the base of the sword, the centerpiece. So lay that on foam board and then trace it out. Now, you might have to trace it onto a couple of different pieces if you have a smaller foam board. You probably could even use cardboard for this. See, and there's the centerpiece there. That's a smaller piece. It's thinner and not as long, and you make 2 of those. So this is a 3-piece assembly. Pretty much as simple as that. Trace them onto foam board or cardboard. There you go. There's the 3 pieces. Looks great. And then you cut them out with an X-Acto knife or some kind of a sharp knife. Cutting through foam board is tricky. You make at least 2 passes. The first pass, you just cut through the top sheet of paper. And then you can cut through again deeper the second time. See it? That's 2 passes. Now glue the 3 pieces together. I use hot glue. It's the easiest. You can use any kind of glue. But you glue the small piece, the centerpiece, right on top like that, right down the center line so the handle matches. And this will look good. You'll see when it's painted. Then you glue the other one on the other side, the back side of it. Make sure they're all centered. You know, glue it right down the center. There's a spike at the far end there on the right there that sticks out. It's kind of neat. And that's that. It's made. See, this took me a few hours to make because I had to figure it out, but you could probably do it in no time at all. Just print it, cut out the pieces, use them as a template to trace to foam board, glue them together, and then sand them down a little bit if you can to, you know, smooth out the rough edges, the cut edges. And then paint it. Now let me give you some quick tips on painting. The blade parts, both the top and bottom there, are silver. If you don't have silver, you can use a light gray. If you don't have light gray, mix white with a little bit of black. But that's the blade. And I'll zip through this at 2 or 3 times speed, all the painting. A fun project, easy to do. I also have Daedric Dagger, Daedric Sword. I have the iron helmet from Skyrim. And then paint everything else on the sword black. The whole thing, all the way down to the very tip on the left there. Paint it all black. Now some red highlights, and this is what makes the sword. On the notches there, a little bit of red, just like the real sword. And then red down the center line of the black part. And, you know, use red as detail work. Just have some fun with it, red and the black, and mix some silver. You know, it just makes it kind of fun. And I'll work on that with a smaller brush, get some detail. Now, I wanted to enchant my sword, so I actually painted the blade section with glow-in-the-dark paint, which is kind of cool. And it looks good. I tried to take video of it, but it didn't come out because it was too dark. But there you go. The Daedric Sword is done. That's it. A lot of fun. If you make one, make sure you send me a picture. I'd love to see it, and I'll put it on my website to say, hey, somebody made it. So here's some other Daedric videos. The Daedric daggers on the top, and I use foam board for the foam for the handle, makes it nice and curved, and the Daedric Sword on the bottom. That's a lot of fun. That's a very popular project. Same thing, just foam board. Thanks for watching.